Have you ever wanted to change your life? To become healthier, more productive, or more successful? You set big goals. You start a strict diet. You exercise every day. You study for hours. But after a few weeks, everything goes back to the way it was. Many people think the problem is a lack of motivation or discipline. But according to the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, that's often not the real issue. The real problem lies in the small habits we repeat every day. James Clear begins his explanation with a story from his own life. When he was in high school, he had a serious baseball accident. A bat struck his face with such force that it fractured his skull. He experienced vision problems, difficulty breathing, and had to undergo multiple surgeries. When he finally returned to school, he had fallen far behind his classmates. He was no longer the top athlete. Even playing normally felt extremely difficult. But James didn't try to change his life with dramatic big steps. Instead, he started with very small changes. Little by little, he improved his daily routines. He slept more consistently. He trained a bit more regularly. He studied with more focus. There was no major change overnight. But he repeated these small changes every day. And after several years, the results began to show. His grades improved. His skills developed. Eventually, he became a collegiate athlete. From this experience, James Clear realized something important. Success is not the result of one big decision. Success comes from small habits repeated consistently over time. This concept is also proven in sports. The British cycling team had been performing poorly for nearly a century. But when Dave Brailsford took charge, they implemented a strategy of 1% improvements in every area. They improved bike design, athlete clothing, sleep quality, and even small details that had previously been overlooked. The results were astonishing. Within a few years, they dominated the Olympics, and Bradley Wiggins won the Tour de France. This is concrete evidence that small, consistent changes can lead to major success. James Clear calls this concept atomic habits. The word atomic means extremely small, but it can also mean a fundamental, powerful unit. In other words, small habits may seem insignificant at first, but if repeated consistently, their impact can be enormous. Imagine improving yourself by just 1% every day. The change might feel tiny, almost invisible day to day. But if you keep it up for a year, you could end up about 37 times better. Conversely, if you get 1% worse each day, your results will deteriorate drastically. This is the power of compounding small habits. So how are habits actually formed? According to James Clear, every habit follows a 4-step cycle. Cue. The trigger that tells your brain a habit is about to start. For example, seeing your phone on the table, smelling coffee, or feeling bored. Craving. The desire that follows the cue. You don't really want coffee. You want the feeling of refreshment after drinking it. You don't truly want social media. You want entertainment or distraction. Response? The action you take. Like picking up your phone, making coffee, or grabbing a snack. Reward. The positive feeling after completing the habit. This signals your brain that the habit is worth repeating. When this cycle repeats, habits grow stronger and eventually become automatic. From this simple cycle, James Clear introduces the 4 laws of behavior. Change as a practical guide to help us build good habits and gradually break bad ones in a systematic way. Make it obvious. Make the habit visible and noticeable. A habit should be visible and have a clear trigger. If it's not visible, your brain will easily forget your intention. For example, if you want to read more, put a book in a place where you'll see it. If you want to exercise, lay out your workout clothes the night before. So before you sleep, you'll definitely see it. The point is, let your environment remind you. Make it attractive. We tend to do what is enjoyable. Our brain loves what feels enjoyable. If a habit feels appealing, you'll be more motivated to do it. Pair new habits with things you like. For example, listen to your favorite music only while working out. Drink your favorite coffee only while studying. The point is, connect the habit with something you enjoy. Make it easy. The biggest mistake is starting too big. If it feels too hard, your brain will resist immediately. Many people say, tomorrow I'll work out for an hour every day. But after a few days, they get tired and quit. So, start with the smallest version possible. Want to read? Start with just 1 page. Want to exercise? Start with 2 minutes. The point is, start small and focus on consistency. Make it satisfying. The brain loves rewards. If a habit feels enjoyable, you'll repeat it more easily. For example, give yourself a small reward after completing it. The point is, send a signal to your brain that this is a good habit. However, behind the 4 laws of behavior change, there is actually a deeper concept that serves as the foundation. Identity-based habits. According to James Clear, lasting behavior change begins with identity, how we see ourselves. When someone sees themselves as a healthy person, exercising, eating well, and getting enough sleep are no longer just goals. They become part of who they are. This is why identity becomes the foundation for building habits. Once that identity is clear, the 4 laws of behavior change function as a system that helps us build and maintain those habits. In short, identity provides the direction, and the system helps turn it into reality through small habits practiced every day. In the end, the main message of Atomic Habits is simple. Your life doesn't change overnight. Your life changes through the small choices you make every day. Small habits may seem unimportant today, but over time, they shape who you are. If you improve your habits little by little, your life improves little by little. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize that the big changes in your life actually started with small steps, taken consistently every day. That's all for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. See you next time.